Trust me when I tell you, it's not far-fetched to see Drew at the end, the middle, or the beginning of an episode looking completely confused. But what is different is that we are sitting with Drew, understanding the confusion. Baby. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 15, episode 3. And as I was saying, listen, when we ended out this episode, I was looking. Drew was so confused. She was like, what? What just happened here? You know, that's a very, very strange emotion when you are stuck to something and literally you're saying to yourself, well, how did we get here? And what literally just happened? And it make no sense. Like I said, Drew is usually walking around in a fog, but I was right there with Drew on this. I was like, girl, I don't show Marlo crazy. But anyway, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to get to it. But let's start back at the beginning. Sanya, Marlo, and Sheree were all together, and they were discussing Drew and Sanya and their whole thing. You know, more of the same, more of the same. I can't even put myself through that. We already know Drew and Sanya will be fine. Then they go apart from each other. Then they fall out. They fall out when they're not even around each other. Like they just, by the time they come back together again, they've fallen out. And I think this is some of what went on with the reunion. Um, Everything was supposed to be fine at the reunion. They go to Bravocon, they back on the outs again. Neither one knows why they're on the outs. Then neither one knows when they're making up. Listen, the one thing that is consistent is that I don't give a shit. The whole Drew and Sonya thing, I am done with it. I am done with it. I personally don't care what Drew and Sonya do from this point. I'm telling y'all now. So don't feel bad if you see me doing reviews and don't type in my comment telling me, James, you forgot. I ain't forgot nothing. If I didn't talk about them, it's because I didn't choose to talk about them because I am sick of the Drew and Sonya situation. So I may just omit them from the review altogether because I won't fast forward. You know, I've never, whenever I get to a point where there are characters and a show that I feel like fast forward, I usually just get rid of the show. But I'm not there with them yet. But you know, I'll stop talking about a storyline in a hot minute because I don't do recaps. I do reviews. So I only talk about what stuck out for me. And I'm tired of Sonya and I'm tired of Drew. Their little relationship is, and I'm right at the brink. Well, y'all know I've dropped Drew and Ralph before and stopped talking about them. Oh, anyway, speaking of BravoCon, they were all talking about how at BravoCon, Mama Joyce was showing her ass, which is what I did. I did watch BravoCon, which was fantastic. It was fantastic. You know, I love that type of, you know, when you bring celebrities together and put them in a forum together where they can experience each other. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get because a lot of them, where we think people know each other, they don't know each other. A lot of them be fangirling and fanboying out on each other. It's really interesting to see. The red carpet. There is a vibe on the red carpet because most of the people who are walking the red carpet are fans of the people who are on the red carpet with them. Most of them don't know each other. Most of them are just like everybody else, waiting for their moment. Like, oh my God, I'm actually meeting so-and-so. I love to see that. I love to see that happen because at the end of the day, not reality, but celebrities, they're just regular people. They're just regular people who just happen to be talented, and their talent actually got picked up and is on a larger forum. That's all. That's all. So I love seeing that. And that's kind of the thing of Bravocon. The ones that know each other, we're so happy to see each other because they don't see each other all the time. And then the ones who hadn't met other ones were getting to meet them. It was really a good thing. And then they were all dressed and everybody was looking good and feeling good. And, you know, some people were just being themselves. And it was a good time. It really was a good time. As I had notes and stuff, I was going to actually review it, but I said, you know what, whatever. I just kept that for myself. I just kind of kept it for myself. I enjoyed it and I just let it go. I just kept that one for myself. I was being selfish, y'all. I can give that one to y'all. But anyway, Mama Joyce, though, Mama Joyce got over there and she did. She showed her ass. And that there was a lot of talk about this in this episode with Mama Joyce. Because I'm going to jump from here. I'm going to jump over. They were talking about Mama Joyce and how she had carried on. She talked about Todd. Okay. Later in the program, Candy, Dawn Juan, and Moneta talked about Mama Joyce and how she carried on. Candy is dissatisfied. See, some of Candy's stance is starting to change, and you'll have that. Candy loves Mama Joyce, period. And you know, there's no denying it. We don't question it at all. We know where Candy stands with Mama Joyce is the same place and in the world that I stand with Miss Patty. I don't give a goddamn if my mother tell you it's raining and you know it's snowing. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And I can look out the door and see that it's snowing and my mother's saying it's raining. And all right, girl. All right. I'll go over there and tell her, you know damn well it is not raining. It is snowing outside. But I'm not going to check her in front of you. I'm not going to check her in front of you. And then I'm going to love her through her crazy bullshit. Okay? So me and Candy, we here when it comes to our mamas. And don't you talk no shit about my mama. Because if you do, then y'all know, baby, just cleaning up. You know what'll happen. You already know what'll happen. So I understand. But there's times when Mama Joyce just goes too far. And I understand because Miss Patty be going too far sometimes. But Mama Joyce is out there in these streets just cutting a fool. It seems as though, well, you know, it gets her attention. Okay. So we know Mama Joyce likes attention. That's that. I mean, it is what it is. She's a celebrity in her own right. Okay. So talking about Todd gets Mama Joyce attention. And she does it. But I don't think that I'm not sure if Mama Joyce knows how it looks now. See, at one point it looked a certain type of way. Then at another point it looked a certain type of way. And now here we are onto something else. See, as time goes on, things be changing. And I'm telling you right now, this whole thing with this talking about Todd, it don't look good no more. It's not cute. It's not cute, and Candy knows that it's not cute. And it's gotten to a point where it's like picking a sore. It's like picking a sore, and Candy never gets to heal. She never gets to heal, and Mama Joyce gets in there, and she's picking at Candy's sore with a damn safety pin open. Picking at it. The shit's old. The shit's old. The message you carrying is some bullshit. It just ain't cute. It really is not cute. The Mama Joyce attacks Todd storyline is not cute. And like she said, something with Kayla and Riley have actually made phone calls. They were upset, both upset about the things that Mama Joyce had done and said at Bravocon. It's embarrassing. And at the end of the day, Todd is Kayla's father. He's Riley's stepfather, but Todd is Kayla's father. You all are additional family members. Okay? Like y'all are Riley's, you know, immediate family. You all are additional family. And see, everything with them, you know, where there been kitchen table talk that sometimes children aren't even privy to. Y'all's kitchen table talks on TV. Y'all's kitchen table talk is over there in the vaults of Bravo. So Kayla could actually see. See, here we go. I was babbling on, but trust me, I'm getting somewhere. Kayla can go back. See, Kayla can go back and see when you, Mama Joyce, wasn't nice to her daddy. You wasn't nice to her grandmama. And you just carried. She could see it. And it ain't like she didn't have a relationship. She had a relationship with her grandmother. She loved her grandmother. And you weren't always the best when it came to her grandmother. And the thing is, the way you're see, you at some point, you and Todd's mother got real cool. And you stopped carrying the way you was carrying because you knew that you was being out of order as pertains to that woman's son. You wouldn't want her to do that stuff to Candy. But now that woman has transitioned, and I've watched, and it seems to me that Mama Joyce, you have gotten very comfortable, too comfortable, and you slipped back into the realm of just plain nastiness. You are nasty when it comes to the Todd thing. You're nasty to the point where it feels like the period of time where you and Todd's mom had come to a meeting of the minds. You're at that nasty point now where it seems like that time never existed. Now, is it just me? But I've been looking at it for a while and saying, that ain't a good look. That ain't no good look. And it's a bit disrespectful. And so now here we go. Now we got these girls. These girls are grown now. They're saying, I don't like it. Now, of course, they're not going to go and approach Mama Joyce and get her together. Maybe not, you know. But it's a mess. And then Todd, you know, Todd's been brushing it off forever. I mean, steel breaks and wears out. How much does he have to take? How much of that does Todd actually have to take? They're married. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I believe if Mama Joyce could break the marriage up, she would have done it a long time ago. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Why create this type of strain? They got enough situations of their own. And it would be really terrible to see Candy lose her husband. Because see, I couldn't do it. That's why I don't date well. I don't date well because I'm very see. I don't feel like I gotta impress your family. I don't. I got my own family. I don't have to impress your family. If your family don't like me, I don't have to deal with it. And I'm not going to accept it. I don't know how Todd has stayed there this long. I wouldn't give a shit how much money Candy got. I wouldn't care what Candy has. I wouldn't care how Candy made me feel. I wouldn't care how Candy knocked me down in the bedroom when the lights is out. I wouldn't care about none of that. I'm not standing up here taking this bullshit from your mama. There's only one mama and one grandmama that I'm taking shit from, and that's Miss Thelma. She gone, and Miss Patty. She's still here, but that's the only bullshit I'm taking. Other than that, my bullshit barometer is like, child, please. I don't know. I don't know. And I still think that iron and steel wears out. Y'all gotta get that together. Don't lose your husband over the bull. But Candy, I think, is getting a little tired because the way she's mentioning it, just getting a little tired. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the situation. I've been holding that for quite a while. Yeah, just seems like Mama Joyce has easily and slickly fallen back into the realm of ignorance on purpose. Moving right the hell along. Ralph and Drew. So last week, we did a whole thing of, okay, so here we go with Drew and her singing situation, her music journey. This week, we already to the point, oh, Ralph is falling. He's withdrawing from the journey. Okay, so am I. So am I. I'm withdrawing from the Ralph and Drew journey as far as pertains to the music. Done. Moving right the hell along. We knew it wasn't going to last, but I mean, damn, really? Always jealous, always in a competition with your wife. You need to stop. Moving right along. You don't like her? Go away. Do like Kenya's husband did. Just go away. Go away. Kenya's husband don't like her. He just went away. Moving on. Speaking of Kenya, Miss Kenya, come here, girl. Come here, Miss Kenya. And I know y'all the ones that you just hate Kenya. No, I don't hate Kenya. I don't hate anybody on this show. I don't hate any of them. Kenya, you want to explain why you are yelling at that employee like that? Yelling and cursing at that employee like that. That wasn't cute. That wasn't cute. And that didn't make you look like a boss. It made you look like a bitch. You didn't look like a boss. That was horrible. That was horrible. All of that carrying on was horrible. Everybody knows, everybody who's ever had a job has had some boss like that you would like to hit in their forehead with the goddamn phone, who is going off and going sideways about something that ain't even that deep. You act like the person lost the business $200,000 this morning. Really? So you film it. They did as a little clip because you thinking that make you look like a boss. You too old for that. You've been in business too long for that. You too black for that. Yeah, I said it. You too black for that. Don't nobody black want to be spoken to in that manner. That's one of our biggest things when we are in the workplace, is having folks of other races speaking to us in that tone and in that manner in the workplace. And now somebody's over there working for your black ass, another black person, and you're speaking to them like that. Get out of my face. I didn't like it. It rubbed me very wrong. And it ain't really even got nothing to do with me and the whole, I don't do Kenya all like that. I wouldn't care who it would have been. I didn't like it. I thought it was horrible. That didn't show leadership. That didn't show boss bitch. That showed nasty bitch, nasty insecure bitch, trying to be something. That's what that showed. That didn't show executive. That didn't show entrepreneurship. That showed bottom of the barrel bull crap. Anyway, moving on. I ain't like that shit. Moving on. I promise y'all I didn't come down here really to rant, but hell, it is what it is. Moving on. What else I got in these notes over here, honey? Candace. Miss Candace. Miss Candace invited Drew. Okay, there was so much wrong with this situation. But Drew, you clowned yourself as usual. You got no one to thank for this but yourself. Candace called Drew. They've actually become pretty good friends, right? Whatever. So she calls her and she invites her to come in for her concert and sing a song with her. And that was very nice because they've talked and she, have naturally, just like I tell Chad everything, she told Candace, yeah, I'm ready to get back into my music and this, that, and the other. And here's what I picked up on that. Are you really ready to get back in your music? Or did the bug get up in your ass when you were at Bravocon? And Candace and a couple of the other ladies who actually have songs actually performed, and you just want to be a part of that because you got a little pick me in you, and you got a little thing of, oh, I could do that too. Oh, I want to do that too. Do you really want to do it, or do you want to do it because they're doing it? That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that you want to do this music thing all of a sudden because there's other people that are doing it. And some of your comments are just kind of off-putting. Like, Candy ain't going to be the only one over here with a Grammy. Want to bet? Want to bet? And I'm not saying that you don't have the talent. I'm not saying that you don't have the talent, because you do. You got a good voice and you write and all these other little things. But when you're doing things for the wrong reasons, even your own God-given gifts will not carry you over when you are doing it for the wrong reasons. Do you understand? I'm going to say it again for the ones in the back. Even your own God-given gifts, singing, songwriting, those are God-given gifts. No one can teach you really how to sing. People can help you work on your singing. When God gives you that. He put that voice box in there. God-given gifts. Songwriting, can't nobody teach you how to bend words to make someone feel emotion. That's God-given. Anybody can put words on a paper. Most people can put words on a paper. But the ability to put words on a paper and mix them to the point where it evokes different emotions in different people all over the world, that is a God-given gift. And even when your God-given gifts are used for a reason that is not genuine, it will not carry you over to the good goals. It might take you some places. It may take you some places that you don't even want to be. But to win a Grammy, to get very, very popular, probably not. So I think you better revisit that and figure out, what's the reason? What's the reason? Do you really want to do this for you, or what's your reason? I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that alone. Definitely have the talent to do it, but the mind space, I think, is going to hold you up, sis, till you get that together. Anyway, they went to the concert. The ladies got together. They went to the concert. Everybody showed up except for Sheree. Sheree didn't show up. She lied and said she was sick. And then they clowned her because all she did was a couple doo-wop pops in the song. She basically kind of mirrored Candace, and that was it. I don't know what they really expected her to do. Like, did you think she was getting up on there at the City Winery and sing her new song? I mean, that wouldn't have been bad. That wouldn't have been bad. The big fuss that Drew made led them to believe that it was something of that nature. So that wouldn't have been bad, but that wasn't it. She said, I want you to come sing a song with me. She was just giving you exposure. I thought it was very nice of Candace to do. It's bullshit. It was actually Candace using Drew to get the cross. Real Housewives of Potomac just gets over there. She got the whole cross publicity of the two shows. So that you were the catalyst for Candace. Candace is the one that actually won in that situation. But nice enough anyway. But girl, to invite all the people like you was getting ready to really be doing this whole concert gig, you kind of like set yourself up. And these people are shady. And most of them don't care for you anyway. So you just kind of set yourself up for that. And they just petty and they shady. And you knew they was going to jump on it. And they did. And that's all she did was basically she said, oh, yeah. And then you said, oh, yeah. It was one of them things. Something that somebody would do with their daughter. I'll tell you who used to do it all the time. And now she's a star. Karen Clark Sheard used to always bring her little girl, Kiera Clark Sheard. She used to bring her up all the time on the stage, and she would do a little piece, and then she would run it back to her. You basically training. It was basically training. They be running scales and then and doing little pieces of the song. You know, Jesus is, and then Jesus is, and then they go back and forth. That's basically what Candace did with Drew. Child, okay. I mean, listen. Any set is a good set. It is all what you make of it, but I wouldn't have invited them heifers there because that was the setup. I said, y'all, they're going to get you money. But anyway, so that was that. Now, let's talk about this real quick before we go, because there's some more. So we're going to go on over there and finish that. I'm going to jump backwards for a second. There was a meeting over at Drew's house, the new Candace, the messy ass Candace, the one that been bothering Candy. That brought, is her name Candace? Courtney. Her name is Courtney. I'm sorry, not Candace. Courtney. Messy ass Courtney. Courtney comes over to Drew and Ralph's house. And of course, you know, we're going with the storyline that Courtney and Ralph are cousins. Can I get a show of hands? Who believes that Courtney is Ralph's cousin? Leave me a comment. I want to see where y'all stand. In that comment, I want you to write either cousin or wasn't. That's what I want you to write in the comments. Either cousin or wasn't. And that's, since we ain't live and this is pre-recorded, because if we were live, I'd tell y'all put a 1 in the chat or put a 2 in the chat. In them comments, put cousin or wasn't. I don't know, but I personally ain't buying the cousin story. Okay? I ain't buying the cousin story. But anyway, moving on. She brings an old blast from the past. And that's why this made in my notes. Bryce. I ain't seen Bryce in years. You all remember Bryce from Groove Theory? Who really, he was like the little heartthrob. He was like one of when the Chocolate Boys was like the big thing, you know, like back in the time when Tyson Beckford started doing movie roles, and who else was they screaming over at the time? Morris Chestnut. When it was like our Black Hollywood was being inundated with darker hued Black men, and they were like these very chiseled features and all of this model-esque look. Bryce was the hot thing back then because he was in Groove Theory, the group, so he's musical. And then he would, you know, he would do like a lot of, they just started picking him up, and he would be doing like all these modeling campaigns, and he would be in these movies because he was fine, baby. He was like an old nasty piece of Hershey's bar with nuts. All right, so they kept saying Bryce, and I'm like, I don't know, but one Bryce that would actually end up being on a housewife show. Baby, when I tell you I had to slow it down and through a few things, and I said, damn, well, that is Bryce. He doesn't look at all like his youth. Not bad looking. I mean, he's not bad looking at all, but he looks like a completely different person. He looks like a completely different person. Like literally, his looks, I'm going to just sit there and say it, his looks didn't hold up. His looks did not hold up. Those looks, those ones, the ones that drew the folks to him as far as like all that modeling and those looks didn't hold up. He still is a good looking chocolate man, but he looks like his own uncle. Yeah, I said it. Now that people gonna be, see, that gonna be in the comments too. James, you got a lot of nerve. I do. See, age age floors me. Like when people don't age right, like, well, I won't say right, but when age jump up on you, that floors me. And like when there's people that weren't good looking when they were young and then they look better when they're older. And I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying it and it be out of order. Listen, for me, our legend, Cicely Tyson, God knows I loves me some Cicely Tyson. Always loved Cicely Tyson. But Cicely Tyson, as a younger woman, I didn't find all that attractive. I didn't find her ugly, but I didn't find her, where I was saying, oh, Cicely Tyson is just so beautiful. She's just so attractive. No. But as Cicely Tyson got older, Cicely Tyson was beautiful. She literally, her is like the Benjamin Buttons thing. The older Cicely Tyson got, the sharper Cicely Tyson got. She was absolutely stunning, in her later years. So I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm saying. So some going to want to not get it. That's fine. Y'all know what to do. Go for it. But you know what I'm talking about. Like it, lick it, or love it. I says it. Cicely Tyson is one of those people. Tina Turner, same thing. When she was a young woman, I didn't get it. Beautiful body, beautiful legs, hell of a talent. But looks-wise, I wasn't moved. Tina now, sharp. And there's other factors that go along with that, but just in general. Now, I ain't talking cosmetic surgery or any of that stuff, because there's some of those factors in there too when it comes to like Tina. But I don't know what Tina's had done or not had done, but there's some stuff been done. But Tina, sharp as an older woman. So I'm not getting hung up over there. I said what I said. Bryce. This is how we got here. We're talking about Bryce, right? Bryce literally looks like the uncle of his former self. I was like floored. I was like, oh my goodness. And here it is. Cross-pollination and cross-breeding. Courtney has a baby by Bryce. So we're just going to drag him up out of obscurity. And yeah, so now, because see, she's obscure. Like nobody cares about Courtney. So know that we don't care about Bryce. And the child that Bryce and Courtney, that's the whole connection. And I don't know where we were going with this, because we don't care about Drew and Ralph so much. We definitely don't care about Courtney. She knew. I don't even want her. And then we really don't care about Bryce, that you pulled up out of, like I said, obscurity. And now you got your storyline already. Girl, we ain't even asked for you. We ain't asked for you. Bryce, the daughter, Drew, child. We ain't even trying to hang on to Drew and Ralph. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, moving on, because I know how to piss some folks off. Welcome to SpillitBoyTV. Anyway, okay, so back over at the concert. Sanya and Drew make up again. Moving on. Courtney and Candy get started again. They get started again. Candy basically say what she had to say. Yeah, girl, you just said these little things. I heard it and all of that. None of it is important. I don't care nothing about you. I don't care about you, and I don't care what you think, okay? And as far as me being ghetto or me bringing out ghetto people, bitch, I bring out everybody. I was like, okay, Candy. Candy got Courtney all the way together. Courtney was irritating me to no not one. She was just irritating. And y'all put her there to pick at Candy. That's all. But Candy got her together. That's it, Candy. Don't give her too much. Oh, girl, you're so triggered. Oh, don't give her that, Candy. Cuss her ass out and keep it moving. Don't give her too much. You need to basically start ignoring her at this point. If you ain't gonna punch her in the mouth, which you don't need to. You don't need to be doing that. Because she'll drive you. The way that she'll drive you to punch her in her mouth. Candy, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Give her nothing. Give her nothing. You've already bought her 2 cases of oodles and noodles. That's it. That's it. That's it. And I mean, I get it. When you're done, you'll be done. But as far from where I sit, 2 cases of oodles and noodles is all right for that type of bitch. Anyway, moving on. So then Drew, not reading the room as usual, Drew wants to bring up the whole shooting at Candy's bar. Drew, why? Why, Drew? What am I even talking about that? And when you start saying it, Candy kind of gave you a nudge, nudge, wink, wink, let's not go there. And you just went right on. Then Marlo wanted to drive it forward. Marlo literally wanted to trigger Candy. She wanted to trigger Candy. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then y'all got off of it. But see, here's the thing. Drew, why'd you even bring it up? That's why you always stay in trouble. That's why you always stay in trouble. Always. Because you're goofy. Anyway, and then you don't stand it because then you start trying to act stupid like you don't know what's going on. But then they rapped. And then we flip back and they show us 30 minutes after the rapping. And this is when things got really weird. What in the hell? Marlo is now basically reprimanding Drew for not pushing forward and not triggering Candy. She basically attacked her. And then she made herself this whole victim about Candy don't tell her story. Candy should have to tell her story like everybody else. Candy doesn't take responsibility for anything, this, that, thing, and the other. Then we get this story about how her nephew got killed in a shooting, and then that was thrown on top of Candy and her boy. Because I said, wait, did the boy get shot at Candy's place the way Candy's cousin got shot at her place? No. He used to work for Candy. Then he, something happened at home and he got killed by his girlfriend, got shot by his girlfriend. And what does that have to do with Candy? That ain't got nothing to do with Candy or her restaurant. Nothing. Now, when Marlo was saying that Candy, and she contacted Candy, and Candy's like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry to hear that. And then she said later on, she brought it up in a setting where there was some cameras rolling, and Candy turned on the actress Candy. Well, y'all was at work. Y'all were at work. Y'all were at work. What'd you want from her, Marlo? You want to push me into a scene, and then you want me. See, here's some advice for you, Marlo. You can only, when you're not the writer of the scene, you can only play one part in the scene. You can only play your part in a reality show scene. You can't play my part and your part. You understand? You can't make me respond how you want me to respond. If you ain't came to me and we set it up, you can't get mad at me because I ain't respond the way you want me to respond in a reality show scene, sis. And now let's wrap this around. What that got to do with Drew? What that got to do with Real Housewives of Atlanta? What that got to do with Blaze? None of that don't, and I don't mean to sound insensitive. I'm sorry that her nephew got killed, but it has nothing to do with any of these components that we're talking about. And you just went absolutely left, and then you were over there trying to trigger yourself, which I thought that was kind of funny. That looks funny because that was really, girl, it was given very this, honey. When you were sitting there saying, my nephew died. My nephew died. My nephew died. I said, what? And you kept talking to yourself like that. It was like you were trying to trigger yourself. This is actually how it actually came off.
Brian, what you doing? What? Brian?
That's how it came off. Totally nuts. Totally nuts. That's how it came off. And then you went storming out of there. Drew didn't know what you was talking about. And that's why I said, well, how much did she have to drink? How much did Marlo have to drink? She stormed out of there in a rant. I said, what? And that's how we ended up sitting around for a change, looking at Drew like, what just happened? And Drew's like, what just happened here? I think Marlo was hitting the bottle or something, child. Something was going on, Marlo. Because that's how you left. And I don't know how you got there. I don't. Anyway, listen, that was it. That was all. Ain't got no more on this. Marlo, do better.
Glory! Ma.